Alright, hi everybody, I am back with another One Piece video. We are continuing ranking all of the One Piece arcs. In a previous video, we had done all of the East Blue Saga, and then in another video, we had done Reverse Mountain through Skypiea. This time, we are going to be doing Long Ring Longland through Thriller Bark. If you have not checked out those two previous videos, I highly suggest that you do so to make sure you are caught up with everything and to understand exactly how I am doing these rankings. If you could, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. It really helps with the channel and gets us out to everybody, and it also lets you stay up to date with everything that's being posted and any new videos that I upload. With that out of the way, I guess we can just get right into this with Long Ring Longland. This is the first island the Straw Hats come to after their adventure on Skypiea. After getting a whole bunch of gold and defeating Inaru and saving Skypiea, they leave the sky and crash land back down into the ocean, back into the blue sea, as the Skypieans like to call it. When they do so, their ship has gotten a little destroyed, and they kind of start mentioning that they are going to be in need of some kind of shipwright. That is going to lead into Water 7, but first they come to Long Ring Longland, which is kind of a really interesting world-building type of thing from Oda. It is a ring of islands that I think it's like every couple of years or only a certain time of the year you can walk around this ring entirely. However, the majority of the time it is sunk by the ocean and it's just little dollops of islands. When the Straw Hats land here, they meet a interesting guy named Tangent, who is on super high stilts. Everything here in Long Ring Longland is long. That is kind of the whole joke that Oda is playing here. There are long dogs, there are long trees, there are long legs. It's just Oda being funny, I guess. But this arc is all about Foxy and the Davy Back. The Davy Back is introduced here. Foxy is a pirate captain. He is Foxy the Silver Fox, and he actually challenges Luffy and the rest of the crew to a Davy Back fight. The Davy Back, this is where Hachinosu is first mentioned, the pirate island. That is apparently where this Davy Back originated, and it is a way for pirate crews to kind of have games and sort of fight amongst themselves and to steal or take other crew members, actually. Luffy and Foxy and the rest of their crews go and have this kind of big old carnival and everything, and eventually it kind of culminates with this boxing match between Luffy and Foxy. Luffy gets the iconic power-up of Afro Luffy. Give an afro to any anime character or manga character, and it's going to make them just way more powerful, 100 times more powerful. That's just kind of how it is, the power of the afro. Luffy is able to defeat Foxy. Foxy's a little bit of an idiot, to be honest. He has a really interesting devil fruit, actually. The slow fruit. It shoots these like beams, and anything that comes in contact with them slows down just like immediately. It's really weird. It kind of defies the laws of physics. But it's honestly a pretty interesting devil fruit. Foxy himself is not interesting, in my personal opinion. I do not like him that much as a character. I kind of find him annoying, and honestly, his whole crew is a little bit annoying. The whole Long Ring Longland Davy Back stuff, the idea in itself, I think is good. The actual Davy Back is a cool idea, but I just think Foxy is not a great character. In the anime, it's way worse than the manga. The anime like doubles up the length of the Davy back fight and like adds in a whole bunch of filler, and it's just no good, honestly. I remember correctly, I think I skipped a lot of the filler episodes during Long Green Longland. It is not one of my favorites. It's going to be going into C tier. It's got some good points, especially with Afro Luffy, the origin of the Davy back, and then the ending is actually probably the best part, where Kuzan is formally introduced. He freezes the whole crew. He's gonna say he's gonna take Robin and stuff, but eventually he actually leaves, surprisingly. But it just kind of shows the massive power gap that the crew is still gonna be facing. That we've defeated gods at this point with Skypiea and warlords and Crocodile, but it just kind of shows there is more to this world, and admirals, the Marine admirals, is one of those. So C tier is where I'm going to be putting this one. I think that works. And then leaving Long Green Longland, the crew finally heads to Water 7. They heard here that they can get a shipwright at this island. The Going Merry is badly damaged from the fall from Skypiea, riding the knock-up stream up to Skypiea, and just kind of going through the Grand Line and everything. It is messed up. They have all the gold that they got from Skypiea, so they are planning on using that to kind of fund either fixing the Mary, getting a new ship. They're not entirely sure what yet, but they know they need to do something in Water 7. Once they get there, they actually go to a bank and kind of talk to everybody a little bit and figure out. They find the Galley Law Company and talk to them. They are the shipwrights that live here in Water 7. They actually kind of made Water 7 famous. It is known as a shipbuilding town. Iceberg, the mayor of Water 7, is actually the owner of this Galley Law Company. Water 7, I believe, is the only known island that has a voted mayor, which is really weird for the One Piece world. The rest of the kind of islands and kingdoms are normally queens and kings, a straight up democracy, or not democracy, like a dictatorship. Whereas Water 7 is a democracy. Iceberg is a voted official. He got voted into the position and has been continually voted to keep his position because he does a good job. Water 7 is kind of the lead up to Enies Lobby. We learn about Cypherpole. We learn a little bit about Robin's backstory, but a lot of it is kind of kept in the shadows, and she leaves the crew. We don't know why. There's the whole thing at Iceberg's mansion with Cypherpole breaking in and trying to assassinate him and steal the blueprints to Pluton. Pluton is one of the ancient weapons. It was first introduced or mentioned back in Alabasta by Crocodile. Crocodile was planning to acquire Pluton and use it to, I guess, take over Alabasta, rule it, do his nefarious deeds, or whatever he wanted to do with it. We find out that the blueprints are here in Water 7, but they are not actually in Iceberg's possession like CP9 thinks they are. They are with a person named Frankie. Or Cutty Flam. Frankie is the leader of the Frankie family. He actually grew up with Iceberg. Him and Iceberg were kind of like adoptive brothers. They were both orphans and were brought in by a shipwright named Tom. We learned the whole backstory with Frankie and Iceberg and what kind of occurred there, and gives a little bit of insight to Enies Lobby. We learned that Tom there was like a whole trial and stuff. It was a big old thing. Frankie is originally introduced as this awful person. He steals the gold that the Straw Hats were actually planning to use to fix the Mary. He takes it and actually uses it on the black market to buy wood, to buy Adam wood. He beats the shit out of Usopp, who tries to go and get the money back and just leaves him to dead, basically. You have a great scene of the rest of the Straw Hat pirates walking towards the Frankie family hideout with Usopp just there, laying bloodied and broken, and going to stand up for their Nakama and get their stuff back, basically. They encounter Frankie, learn a little bit about his personality and who he is, and eventually he actually decides to go with the crew to Enies Lobby to try and save Robin. Before that happens, though, we find some information about the Mary. We learn that it is unable to continue sailing. The shipwrights that are here in Water 7 do look over it and kind of give it a look over and deem it no longer sailing worthy. Usopp and Luffy have a big falling out, and one of my favorite parts of the story, honestly, is the Luffy-Usopp fight. It is set up that there's no way Usopp is going to be able to do anything to Luffy. Luffy has a devil fruit. Luffy is the captain of their crew. He has fought all these crazy people. He's been training since he was 7, or 5, or whatever. Should be no contest between Luffy and Usopp. But you give Usopp 5 hours, 10 hours, a day of preparation. No, he didn't defeat Luffy, but he did a really good job. I've always kind of likened Usopp a little bit to Batman. He doesn't have any powers, and if you give Batman prep time, he can do a lot. Oh, whoa, what's going on here? Sorry about that, guys. But Water 7, I really like Water 7. It's going to be going up here in A tier. There's so much more I could go into about it. I don't want to get too bogged down right here. But Water 7 is kind of the prequel to Enies Lobby, which is where the Straw Hats actually go to save Robin. Robin has been captured by CP9 and is going to be taken to Marineford, executed, thrown and impaled down. I'm not sure what the exact plan was, but she is going to be taken to the government here. She has willingly given herself over, thinking that that was the correct choice to save the Straw Hats and everything, but if you know Luffy, he's not going to just let one of his friends leave. If that's what they want to do, that's different, but Luffy is always going to stand up and save his friends. Enies Lobby arguably has the best moment in One Piece. I say arguably. It is my personal favorite, with Robin standing up there crying after her backstory, and she screams out, "I want to live." I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it here. It brings tears to my eyes every time I see it or read it, and it's just heart-wrenching, and you can just really see all the turmoil and pain and loss that Robin has gone through, and how she doesn't want to go through that again or put anyone else through that. And she's always just kind of pushed everyone else to the side, not afraid to bring anyone in close. She's always been backstabbed or been people wanted to turn her over to the government. And this is the first time Luffy and his crew, everyone else, have stood with her, have told her that they are here for her and will do whatever they want her. Whatever she wants them to do, they will do. She is their friend. They are hers. and they're not going to let her throw her life away. The whole Usopp and Rob Lucci fight is amazing. Luffy just absolutely pummeling, going Gear 3 Gatling into Rob Lucci is amazing. And it's just that just rah, 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 right there at the end. It is great. Luffy's fight with Bluno, where he introduces Gear 2. This whole arc, or not arc, just introduces a whole bunch of power-ups for the Straw Hats. You've got Gear 2 and Gear 3 for Luffy. You have Diablo Jambe for Sanji. You have 9 Sword Style for Zoro. A whole bunch of power-ups. Chopper unleashes Monster Point here for the first time. He takes 3 Rumble Balls, I believe. And the fights here are honestly what kind of make this arc. I think it's great. The one of the funniest moments, I feel like, and it's honestly a little... I kind of wish Oda didn't give this devil fruit to this character. When Zoro is fighting the Marines, and they're all trying to go save Robin to get her away from the Gates of Justice, Zoro interacts with a Marine called Shu, who has the rust fruit. And dude just reaches out and completely destroys Yubashiri like it is nothing. I think Zoro then takes out the Wado and cuts the guy down like it's nothing. But the fact that this just random Marine guy, I don't even know if he was like an officer or a captain or anything. I don't know what his rank is. But he just comes up and grabs Yubashiri and it's just gone. Like, I think I'm going to be doing a video in the future talking about the most underrated devil fruits in One Piece, and the Rust fruit is definitely going to be on there. I feel like if it was given to someone that was a little bit more relevant to the story and maybe was a bit stronger, had some hockey, it could be really useful. It is basically the like full counter to all swordsmen. I know devil fruits and hockey is kind of a weird thing, so that might not work for, I guess, every swordsman. Like Mihawk, for example, I don't think you could just rust away his sword like it was nothing. Gosh, I don't know why the screen keeps timing out. Sorry about that, guys. But Enies Lobby is S tier. I have said in the previous videos of these that there's only one S tier per grouping, and that's going to be the one for this group, is Enies Lobby. After Enies Lobby, we have Post-Enies Lobby. This is when the crew kind of heads back to Water 7 after successfully defeating CP9 and getting out of the Buster call that was happening. The Mary gets torched. It sinks down to the bottom of the ocean. You have the super sad. It's way sadder in the anime because it adds in the kind of music and you can just hear the crying everybody. A certain song cues up and it makes me cry. And hear the Klabautermann of the Mary coming up and just being thankful that they were able to carry this crew for as long as they did. And it's just such sad and gut-wrenching moment. It's just kind of epitomizes everything that the Mary and the crew has kind of done so far, and this was their ride. The Mary was not, it was more than a ship. It was part of the crew. Once they get back to Water 7, now with Frankie officially joining them, they are actually able to get a new ship. Using the wood that Frankie bought off the black market, using the Atom wood, he creates the Thousand Sunny, the Straw Hats' new sailing vessel, and it is absolutely amazing. I love the Thousand Sunny. All of the little extra docking stuff it has, Sanji's area with the fish tank, the grass on the front. He even keeps Nami's Mekon trees. It's amazing. We also learned during this arc some of Luffy's familial ties. We learned that Garp and Dragon are officially Luffy's grandfather and dad. That had not been officially known yet to the community, I believe. This is when it was noted by Oda. And we also get introduced to the not warlords, the Yonko. We don't see them or anything, we just kind of get their silhouettes, and it's really funny if you go back and look at that original silhouette that Oda put and then look at the designs of the Yonko that we learned about with like Big Mom and Kaido. They don't look anything like it. It's just you can tell Oda had an idea for what he was going to do, and it kind of changed, but the general concepts stay the same. The Straw Hats also all get new bounties here. This is where Luffy gets his 300 million berry bounty, I believe. All the Straw Hats get updated bounties, and just kind of raises their infamy in the world. It's a little bit of a recap arc, and nothing too crazy happens in it, but it is good lore building, it's more world building. We also get, not with the Straw Hats, but on another island, at Bonaro Island, we get the Ace and Blackbeard fight. And that one is really, really good. We kind of flesh out Blackbeard a little bit more, his fighting ability, how some of the stronger abilities of Ace, and Blackbeard actually wins that fight, captures Ace, and that was what leads into the whole Summit War saga, which we're going to be coming to next time. Post-Enies lobby, I'm going to put in B tier. I think it's a pretty solid arc. It wraps up Water 7 and Enies Lobby and kind of puts a bow on the whole thing, gives new bounties for the Straw Hats, and does kind of expound on the world building a bit. And I really like how Oda foreshadows the Yonko and Fishman Island by saying that is how they will eventually be getting into the New World, when Fishman Island doesn't come up for, gosh, another 200-300 chapters probably. After Enies Lobby, the crew leaves Water 7 with their new ship, with Frankie and Robin back along with them, and they begin trying to head to it's said that they're heading to Fishman Island. That is not the next location. Where they head next is an area of the ocean known as the Florian Triangle. It is a super foggy part of the ocean. No sunlight comes in there, and it is known for ships to get lost in this area of the ocean. This is where we find the island of Thriller Bark. This is where the warlord Gecko Moria has decided to set up shop, and him along with Dr. Hogback, Perona, and Absalom are running Thriller Bark and amassing an army of zombies. We are introduced to Brook here in this arc. As the Straw Hats are kind of going into the Florian Triangle, they witness just a floating ghost ship out on the horizon. And Luffy, of course, sees adventure. Usopp is terrified. They go up to the ship, and they see Brook there. Full skeleton. Yo-ho-ho-ho! And he's just hanging out there. I think he's sipping some tea. And I could be wrong on this, but I believe the first thing he says. May I see your panties? Brooke's great. He is hilarious. Brooke actually got his shadow stolen by Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria has the Kage Kage no Mi, the Shadow fruit, which allows him to take the shadows of living people and put them into corpses to reanimate them. That is how he is creating this army of zombies on Thriller Bark. With the help of Dr. Hogback to kind of stitch together and make weird zombie bodies. He puts humans onto elephants. He adds extra arms and stuff. It's a whole Frankenstein-esque mismatch of just body parts and animal parts. It's kind of weird, but I guess cool. This arc also highly focuses on ancient giants. Ors is kind of one of the main... Sorry about that, guys. Ors is kind of one of the main antagonists in this arc. He is a dead ancient giant that Gecko Moria actually found in the ice continent. He was frozen, and Gecko Moria took him here to this island, and now that he is going to be reanimated with the Kage Kage no Mi. Luffy's shadow actually gets stolen and is what gets put into Ors to reanimate him. There's a whole big fight with Ors and the Straw Hats. The officers of Gecko Moria's crew, Perona and Absalom, also have their individual fights. Perona fights Usopp in a really good fight. Usopp, is always said to be a big, scaredy cat, and we're in kind of the horror arc right now. And so he really kind of steps up his game, and him defeating Perona with the big 100 or 1,000-ton hammer, and obviously it's a balloon. He can't lift a 1,000-ton hammer, but it's just great and kind of goes into the Usopp lies and everything. Absalom actually fights with, well, he doesn't fight Nami, he fights Sanji. He tries to kidnap Nami and actually marry her. It is one of the more disturbing scenes in One Piece, actually. Absalom has the ability of the clear fruit. It turns him invisible. And we learned that this is actually the fruit that Sanji has always wanted his entire life. And if you know Sanji's personality, that fits. He would be the one to go invisible and just go and walk into bathhouses. That is what he would want to do with that, unfortunately. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to have to change why this is timing out on me for some reason. But back to Thriller Bark, Sanji fights Absalom and just kicks his damn face in. It's great. He's like licking on Nami and stuff. It is very therapeutic to see Sanji just cave Absalom's face in. It's great. After the whole fight with Gecko Moria is kind of concluded, the warlord Bartholomew Kuma actually appears on the island. He has apparently been sent here by the government to kill Straw Hat Luffy. He has been sent here to take his head, and that's what he was sent here for. Luffy is actually unconscious currently when Kuma gets here after fighting with Gecko Moria and taking in, I think it's 1,000 shadows and turning into Shadow Luffy. Luffy is knocked out, so Sanji and Zoro and Frankie, I believe, kind of step up to try to defend Luffy. Zoro goes and knocks Sanji out and actually talks to Kuma, and one of the best scenes in the whole story is the nothing happened moment. Zoro comes to an agreement with Kuma that Kuma has the pawpaw fruit. He is able to push things. So that can mean a lot of things, physical or non-physical. He can push pain out of people. So Kuma pushes all of the pain that Luffy had incurred during his fight with Gecko Moria and Oars into a bubble, basically. So Kuma, Zoro walk away from the rest of the crew. Everyone else is either asleep or passed out, unconscious, and they go off to the edge, and Zoro takes all of Luffy's pain and exhaustion after already having his own fight and being messed up himself. It cuts to just Zoro standing there. Someone might have watched it. I don't remember exactly, but you have this, it's just whited out in the manga. Zoro there, bloodied, eyes open, shirt torn to shreds, and above him, nothing happened. It just expounds on Zoro's loyalty and belief in Luffy. He was 100% willing and expecting to die here. Zoro gave up on his dream so Luffy could continue fulfilling his. It's so powerful. It's one of the best points in all of the story. I know that says a lot. I'm going to be putting it in A tier. That one moment, I'm not a huge horror fan personally. Zombies are a little bit of an overused trope in my opinion, so there's some parts of this arc that I don't like very much, but Zoro's nothing happened moment is one of it. It is definitely in my top 5 moments of One Piece. So, that completes the tier ranking for this section of Paradise here. If you have any thoughts or any changes or anything, let me know what you would do down in the comments below. Next time, we are going to be doing Sabaody through Marineford. So it is going to be Sabaody, Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford, and then Post-War. That will be the next video. I believe that is 5. 5 arcs, and that will finish out Paradise. Once that is done, we will be moving into the New World. That'll be a different video, and once we get to that, I think I'm going to be doing a live stream actually for that video, so stay tuned for any posts announcing that. I will post something either on my page or on Twitter announcing when that live stream is going to be, so everyone is up to date. But if you got this far, you must have liked something. So again, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and comment what your favorite part of the video was. And I will be talking to you guys later.